Wahab Farouk. In fact, Nani Abrepa, and somebody to Jacarde was say, a Ghana military and Casano. And to say, no, yeah, it seems that Ghana military is becoming a joke. Wahab Farouk, international diplomat, or no, and this are in same way to ja. Nino, this a military man, or more ecocono, a Kasoa, a millennium city. Nano, and a Wahab Farouk. Abe fire pa ewo ensema see ye ene de course ewo Kasoa even military man impo no ohe eye footages e ba montia na eye police station enimpe ena apranti omutimi edi na awusa sese no the this year no mahwere ensem be ba monte say Kasoa fo nwane o amifo be po mo ensem de bebre yenti Wahab Farouk akwaba apombo bode ayo na me hu acheza ye ni na mo obrani de ye do echi ye ni na mu looking fresh always. Thank you. Hey Farouk Al-Wahab boss oh Ghana no Wahab oh yeah sure untu kwai I came about 3 days ago. 3 days ago, yeah. Anyways ana o peye yasa oze o peye ya too much ade. What did you? Oh, David said, most of sometimes no one check me time in time moody. Oh, so say, and I because every holiday in a re I'll buy. Oh, David send me a Libra and time enough, maybe time no. So, Momo coordinated time. I'm the age one say, oh, about 2 hours work. As no, you share any coordinated time. It's as and when it is sometimes, you don't plan your time, it just happens. Nyame fault. So you should know Nyame say me a Libra. I'm just only trotting. Very well. Once again, men some more kwaba na men na was say your tones are frail. Na waba na ye May Day, Workers' Day, a holiday. Na only ye be ye a juma. Ama Ghana for ati. I mean there be a Ghana for a happy senko mu be hu. Yeah, that's yamra fie, ye tinsi fie. Na before I be back nsem na nkasa so no mini kan fanfa say the last time one Nkrofobi ye nsem money kakra kire soldier for Ashaman. Yes. I mean me who stand. Yes. Baby na o di free but I think you were in support of whatever the military did to Ashaman for. Yes, at that time. Yes. At that time. Yes. Now na yenko dan sorry Ashaman me say Kasoa. Yes. Adia for Francis so geni ayaye ne sa. And a man for in quote dream say whatever happened wo ho no a bit messy, we say a man for you very careful. Okay. You just said at that time. Yeah, but now your take on what the SEO we say no Kasoa. Okay. Your advice and your take on that near day. Okay, first of all, I condemn any form of murder, whether legitimate or illegitimate, including even your friend is saying statutorily sentenced death row. I'm against that. Religiously, personally, I'm against any form of murder. Now, with regards to the soldier for now case scenario, the two cases are not the same. The death of a soldier relative, way a soldier, but the scenarios are not the same. Me need the facts of the Kasoa one only to read say it was land related assassin. Whether it is validated say no say assassin assassin is left in the balance. Say mean cannot mean to me enkase ampa assassin. But in absence of that fact, they see a shaman. It was an innocent soldier, Okoni baby, who was cold-blooded and killed by neighborhood, and then left the body on the street. In the neighborhood, one is saying, "Ukum sojani," and yes, there's nobody that could be murdered in that cold-blood action. On team, on Didi, on Kasa. So what does it mean? It means that he might have struggled or shouted. Soldier wouldn't die just like that. Even excuse me, so be the Sekai cry, may God forbid. You scream and shout. So are we saying that that small road, that neighborhood, that window, people were living there, people were living in their rooms, people were living in their homes. So if a murder had taken place against a soldier, against any individual,
na ya de na to street so ayo obi back room obi backyard enya park bi so ne de no koto na say order in a your friend is a street so a both sides in your houses na so one tier. Then I'm to say if it should happen even today, soldier knows how to defend. They are to defend the nation. That is the hallmark of a military Juma. And it's principally so okum soldier need like that. Now the people in the area, Obeka is a military for Eddie Kaimai, what is called a press conference here, press release. Said the people in the area should voluntarily try to say omuma information leading to what happened. Did anybody come forward? The answer is no. Obi to me volunteer information, the answer is no. Then if you leave the military in a vacuum, say was a military atade, and he was screaming say was a soldier. He was screaming say was a military ni. So about girlfriend who, so about papa who, does it warrant anybody so be in the neighborhood? Now the whole household, say 10 houses crying around Ruby also want it, but they saw the body the next military would invade. I told you a story, and the story was very simple. It happened with Captain Kojo Chikata, retired late Captain Kojo Chikata of Ghana. When the Ghanaian troops call Congo, how he settled in Angola or Congo, no, you heard at the time of a young captain, our the Ghanaian troops, Babia, some were trapped out there, Omukumbino, and any troops were the Koyeno. The announcement and then the stand was that as they are going there to redeem and recapture the position and then also make sure say Ombe liberate Omakan. His statement was that anything movable, are you listening?
Anything
movable, they should ground it down, including dogs, animals, and human beings. That is what soldiers are trained to do. A Ghanaian Captain Kojo Tikata, you can call Ghanaian army, whoever, a lot of them are there, they know of this fact. Anything movable, because they don't know who the enemy is. And he took a troop with that said Omia 5 and not 10. No Akolusubia, he wouldn't come to Ghana alone as a leader, as a commander, and where is your trooper? And he took that action. Heaven knows how many of them they killed before they liberated the people. And you want to mean sorry. So be a military uniform. Na Ghana yetimiya young boys. No mako gange, no mabu military. Case by case studies basis. Yes, so we say in the case, you know, as you said, say a lander. It is unjustified meaning. But if it is lander, or no any private affair, mean to me can whoever he has an issue with, you know, that is another thing. But then that comes to the topic of what the military of Ghana, the assignment, the recruitment, the training, and the professional career that is vested in them to act and what they are supposed to do. That is where my beef is. So if it is related to lander, it is not new, it is true. Because BSc George Otibonsu land, military in uniform, with military car with GA registered number.
Just few weeks ago.
Yeah. And I want to so stupidly, I'll use the word, I'm sorry, I'm not like that, but this time around this. Stupidly, look at how they went out there to that neighborhood at Ajengano, sitting on military pickups. The man videoed and captured them. I have some of the videos. Now mo tete pickup now mo na sensen ho. Assuming say nipa na mo koye saade no. If there was any sniper, if any of his security have loaded guns no mde atete, mo bubu dan wie mo kona mo tete pickup so amosre no. The person could have finished all of them. Relatively, is that a military training? So they are dumb when it comes to some of these things. So what really goes into their training? What are they to do and what are they to do? That brings you when Ghana, Niger issue, and the ECOWAS Niger, Mekachi say, you go and bring a protocol military officer who had not gone through any training for 6 months. Now, so they know Niger, you must be a waste because you waste the body, you waste their lives. And to say, if the military or soldier understand what he's doing, and know where Juma ye, and a barras ye train you without any reservations, ye train you will not turn yourself. Say obeko no akwa Langard because seemingly all over the country now, Everywhere there is land issue,
that is what we use military to do.
That is what we use to do now.
Because only a
Juma. But then in other jurisdictions, let's call Israel in perspective. Israel is the smallest army size, one of the smallest in the world. Much as I'm not fully in support of what the things they do, but woman kasa manufacturing, woman kasa production. How many weapons? How many artillery? BBA noa omoto every obi ho. Israel is Israel manufacturing BBA. What about the Balkans? What about the Croatians? What about the Serbians? What about the Czech? Obiya military on one na nadia on one manufacturing BBA A to Z. The one ni no na kese high pro enema bia on so but obi so be so be free no. Young Ghana military, not even common farm. We don't have farm even for Ghana army. They themselves doing nothing. The country is not at war. The whole Ghana, as I've always told you, say there is a green bush. You need to be any military presence or be a kontokwa. You need the presence of any rebels in any part of the Ghanaian bush. Our military fully active. Two holding problems. Our country and military team solve here.
I mean, once a year far soldier for you far a senior high school for me can recruit.
Yes.
Can officers. Now you far tradesmen for.
Yes.
Yes, be okay. Where you fitter. Where you engineer, where you say those days,
yes.
Those days, school, mom, we BT, building construction, and one's for Farouk, share acquire ye wukrumha, and you won't see any military men cry because the contractors, you know, and any or more, and in Kama Sama Rudy, Ubu engineers, yes, I'm 48 and 49 engineers, 48
regimental,
and you won't see them there.
Mami Gacho,
say, ya don't know, Muina say, or Angade Bangia. Na or guide to say the land.
Mebaho.
Does it really make sense?
Mebaho. Which country on earth that they want military?
Top radio.
5, 6. An army commander should tell some of us who says military men, personnel, or trucks. No, mudi obi private bank, government bank. No, omo jijiska of filling stations, private company. Now, but if the military really have something to do. Is that the work of the military? So nobody is afraid of them. That is why because a Ghana military no ye did this work or Niger no. Now make us say only Langard fight to Kromulusu. Langard fight to Kromulusu. Because that is not your training. Because the military must be seen as one of the highly respected body. American military, what after 2 days I wash a uniform no. They hold the person in high esteem. Say, what Ghana United States flag? Cry say, what salute to say, obey worship the country, no, obey defending the country. That alone is even enough to take him to the nether stage of life. Now, yeah, dear, Ubehu MP, Obia Chusu Peke, military ope. Na military cry, excuse me, Obab, the only person in the system that's supposed to have a military. Is the commander-in-chief of Republic of Ghana. Onukwa is a military dinachi. Is the commander-in-chief. Any other person could be a police. The defense is for the military, for the government, for the president. He's the commander-in-chief. Only there, yes. Oh, here one police, oh, here one army. To balance the civil and to balance the defense. That is okay. Not to the sense MP. Onu chusu peke military as wadini kofi. O chusu peke military obeshe ni ofie. That is what it is the case. If you are talking about a country be or rough radical system, it is a Colombia, your friend is saying other parts of the world, Ecuador, El Salvador need those places any Mexico. You can say it's okay, military, they can guide the bank. And no, even with that one, it's seen as the company of the military. They have a company. That is the tax force company, which they work and also collect the money to take care. It's also internally generated fund for the company. Not the Ghana Ministry of Defense account. Not the commander-in-chief or the Ghana Armed Forces chief of staff account. No, it doesn't work out like that. Your country is radicalized. Into there are certain positions, government institutions be or they let the military to go and support. Ordinarily, no, the police is enough to take care of it. Now, your team free that kind of services to the people, services by the military in your film, and all what we are seeing is and I mean, okay, say after this program, and you know we are, you will find military men on pickups going to guard somebody's property, somebody's land, or demolition exercise. And then the history and the story, it's always very simple. The military command says, we have not authorized anybody. But we have not seen anybody that they brought also in books. Mr. Otibonsu's case in perspective, in scenario, as a reference point. The numbers were there. So the military cannot tell me, say they don't know who was driving the car at that night. If the person is brought in, you should show who were the people sitting on the car, not more less than 5 or 6. Where are they? Have we seen one person numbered?
So do you think they have to punish that and
it is not to punish them. Is it the services to be rendered by Ghana Army so that we know that we have a military that work Omejuma demolition exercise. Demolition exercise. Meanwhile, long-standing feud between Alabanyo and Nkonya. They are not up to 24 or Tiabofre. Ghana military cannot solve that problem. With all due respect, Alabanyo and Nkonya, what must solve? What about Boko? What about Boko?
Day in and out.
You go and build a barrier at Boko, and then an assailant will come behind there and kill the military. Military Boko. What must solve issue? No? So what is your beef on people's land? What is your beef? And it's just so rampant now.
Why are we there? Why are we here? I mean,
why are we here? Because of what? Disrespect to order. Because we don't, as a country, we don't respect our own services, laws, rules, and regulations.
At what point any who say a soldier for and a military much I say yes or no? Because military who so busy or be guide or be land at what point and omulusu omu control
two Dansuma police officers in the 90s. Elko your friend Sablekuma Emma Obekai sa incident of the police people who were ginger any ninja.
Yeah.
They buried them alive, concreted them. Those people, some of them are still serving. They are serving, I think, life sentences. At that time was the beginning of all these genesis.
Oh.
We didn't have these things. That was the beginning of the land guards. Now start to Accra. It has led through that. But then for you to know, say, all the military guys on properties are government high-profile officers. Government high-profile officers. I don't think so. I'll be able to get access to any police or military officer to go and do that exercise.
Fire service campaign.
Do you understand me? And you shall land in a military focus so echo guide any domu. You see?
I mean government officials.
Most of them, most of them.
Yeah.
And then of course predominantly also other estate developers.
More connected to politicians.
Yeah, because if even they are connected to politicians, some of them genuinely go to the military and ask for support, for guide, etc., depending on the terrain. Which I'm saying, say, if there's a justification, authorized by Omar hierarchy, it be supported by a court documenter, I may not have necessary problem. It is also maybe to defend, but not traditionally said. Military ne jani post. Now a certain captain or a certain brigadier or certain command on one instructions say I've sent this and that to go and do XYZ. No more on authority because but if there's a military yes or sambo niema Israeli military or yaya telephones eton Bangladeshi military or niema or produce niema or palm polo shirts. Bangladeshi military or palm polo shirts at the Dubai in the name of a disguised company. Are you getting me? Philippines, military, they do a lot of things. Don't pam macra panties, military, Philippine military. Pam Emma panties. There is an international brand, Victoria's Secret. Go and ask them. So American they pam the Victoria's Secret. Military takes job and work. If they have nothing to do, redundant. They make service and make money. They are not going to say that produced by Philippine military. But they have a disguised company that happens to be or no as the manufacturer. But the job itself is done by military. Na Ghana Army, uniform. Woko Accra, na wako to military uniform. No wako Kasoa, no wako pe hotel ni, no apamamau. They can't even sew their own uniforms.
How can they respect you?
Ghana,
how can I respect you?
Yes, that is how we brought our military to her knees. So woman kasa the tom uniform. No aton empabwa, no aton cap, no akwa pam. So what kind of military that are we? Luckily, Ghana, I would forever say, is the Switzerland of West Africa, and then Switzerland of Africa. Obi any country we say any problem, and the country will be also attack a country where to be the most miserable and messy country because our military is so soft, so weak.
Top radio.
But say at say omoko your friend is say omoko Lebanon and so omoko we say yeah I mean your military na normally omo defense. That's what
musku na mko eni anche mo hwe me ko makaranta beduma bon. Because if I'm to educate you, there is a difference between going for a combat war and going for peacekeeping. They go for peacekeeping, be kwatra there.
Yes, you kokra. Do say tokwa mo edane ya bohwisu na munya mako underground.
No, but you are a peacekeeper. I understand them.
Yes.
They are peacekeepers. South Sudan so omo. Ye share omo, ye no omo bebre. And then okoye peacekeeping. You are not going for aggression. One kon tokwa. It's only when you attack them and ombe shake up kakra. Yes, yeah. But beside that, if you're a peacekeeper, now one should say, Ghana did 20
before Betima atutu okra this a UN cry control.
And then I make sure they are going for peacekeeping. Peacekeeping, you don't meddle yourself up in that country. No problem. Say, oh, kwa. And American say Ghana military say or the 250 at the Lebanon or bar or the 260 neighbor. And he's saying, oh, Mama Kahon, who ye military now call big country now will be called wow, they are crying back Kahwaba. Nigeria Army ba Ecomac, Omuko Ecomog, Eco Sierra Leone, Omuka flight in a banomo Retania, Ebian Crow Mugusu no mo Iremona Mako from Sierra Leone, and a Liberiano, Omunkwabo one full flight. Do you understand me? Into one contoka or peacekeeping. And it's all the 200 troops don't call.
So when I say Commander in Chief and I say ye blame and CDS yes. And I say Defense Minister. When I say blame.
Listen,
for all
the
this.
Defense Minister is a ministry. Then when you come to the job itself, Defense Minister has got nothing to do with the ministry. How the army do their
so thing. CDS and I say yeah.
On the command, on the how it works. You have to tell Ministry of Defense. The Ministry of Defense, you know, think of is the ministry or not in the interface between the ministry and the government. They don't make laws for the soldiers. Ministry of Defense
CDS, what do you propose about? And I said this, oh the idea about said this is what we want to do. Now the Commander in Chief see there be me I don't support that. This is not their business.
So be it. That is the reason why our soldiers, you know, only access even who they employ or whom they take on. Recruitment, if they will tell you the truth, if the Ministry of Defense, if politicians and they recruiting or they bro, they only bring the boys omo trunk and omo your friends say omo mattresses and
party boys.
At one gate, then you have to take them. You don't screen them. You cannot screen them. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. You don't call Bondasi na chance. They run away. They can't. And they disrespect even the commanders on the ground. They disrespect them, the sergeant, the commander, the RSMs. They respect them. They don't even submit to the training. And then when it comes to even say, more posting, sir, they choose and pick where they want to go. Because you, the commander, you are receiving instruction from anywhere possible. Send Makureni me or Accra or no Boaminti keeping Wakra. Into Tamale Onko.
Live on top 103.1, 50 minutes after 4. Final point, and the bro holiday edition of Final Point, and the bro 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and the bro for when you be catching and says or feel say about 7 p.m. and they are 7 p.m. intino on fana feeding into us on journey SCA. Na ye kona na makacho on command doso ye bedin komo makacho say Farouk ye man of many parts intino ye befa baby ye hwe military kakra. Farouk say wo ye CDS SCA enkawo measures bang. The
first measure is to go back and look at the recruitment drive of the Ghana Army. It's completely abysmal.
And do you think you can do that?
That is what you should be able to do that. Without that, you are not a military. The military works on instructions of military. We're having the flag given to you by the country to defend the country.
Which, of course, you have someone on your commander-in-chief.
Well, a commander-in-chief does not mean so. Or no, if there's something happening at the presidency, the fallback is the military that has to move.
Can you threat the commander-in-chief with something and so that whatever officer beboa or military no yeah or support yeah?
My instruction, my advice example.
Okay.
President Bush visited Ghana.
And at top radio.
President Kufuor time.
Yeah.
When he was, I'm on national air, so people will tell you. Those who were there. Because you're Pianim and Co. They were there at the executive wing of the President Chief of Staff.
Okay.
Before President Bush entered the Ghana President's office to have a meeting with President Kufuor has to come out for his room to be searched. His instructions from United States.
Our President of Ghana, the President of land.
You signed as an undertaking of the security requirement before Sobeba visit you. Now, plus minus, we can go into details. But when President Bush was leaving out Ghana, the instructions was that, including military, including everybody on the tarmac, including immigration officer, nobody was supposed to turn around and look. President Bush. And I remember at that time, who was the commander of the airport, security commander of Ghana, Kotoka International Airport. We were with him at the gate. I had the badge. All the visit, anywhere President Bush went, we went there. We went to the presidency. So I'm talking about what really took place. Odru Hono, or say, I'm there. They say, come on, get the hell out of here. They're totally free. American Sergeant Unisi form.
In charge of Ghana's airport.
Ghana's airport at that time. Go and ask him that I said they didn't even allow him to enter. Immigration officers were turning it. Nechi the tarmac and an nice nanim wall. That was the instructions. Now listen to what follows. When President Bush had walked on the red carpet, the only person, more media men, all of them, yadimugu cargo truck so on airport, media personnel with their cameras. Instructions from where? From the American Ministry of Defense, the American Defense, the Secret Service, the CIA, the FBI's. They all come as a joint force and instruct the U.S. president what is to do. Now listen. Bush is flamboyant. He didn't really want to because he had never been a military. Clinton was never a military. Obama was not a military. But George Bush senior Oma be military. No, they know how to obey instructions. And to Bush and President Kufuor, as he normally was working or the commander, I'm referring to the American commander of the security of President Bush. He shouted at him.
Or shouted president.
You dare not. Koyes actually Nana Akufo-Addo. Oh man, I mean, Koyes actually any African president. But South Africa they do. He shouted at him to stand there. And so I watch a U.S. president cannot sit in even his own car. The beast, you want to meet them with that State Department, with that defense, with that security, with that secret services, tell him to go into the car. Because they were taking instructions from America.
Wow.
Because they were being satellite. So when they agreeably, he had the instruction to allow him to sit down, and I didn't start to pampem. Don't go and hit your head. No can share carnimu. That is how it works. So president, a commander-in-chief, but the military has to control you. It has nothing to do with Minister of Defense. Minister of Defense, he has nothing to do with how the military should do their things. They plan and plot and design their own strategy how to defend, how to follow a president. And to one recruitment drive. Now be as it may say, your politicians, are decided what goes into our life. As far as our services delivery is concerned, that is okay. Fine, say, say when the DH, when the man is coming a campaign, sadly, but when say, the boys in Kwabro say, protocol recruit, Obawa, let the military laws prevail. That is the defense. Let them understand the discipline. That is the defense. Ghana Army. Remember the story on the military for so montiase. Me say, they are too beautiful and too handsome even to be a military to go on a combat. Now for military, Obako cantonments area. No. Military and pedicure and another Obako on them uniform shen. Yeah, and pedicure and manicure. Child the military or no, yeah, and pedicure. Niger military or no pedicure. That what could you answer on any cocoon? You see, we have just limited and brought our military to so low value. And it's so sad, say, a young man sitting in a car, killed. So sad. What did he go out there to do? Say, on one land, no crana. As long as say or share uniform, no, it could have been say, Osu, it became on one assassin. It could have been say one guy. It could have been say, your friend is saying, an unfortunate situation, and a cocotono. But it has been a practice, say, said now, no, military for guide the land, military for demolish it. And they be a share uniform crack a threat. Emma, whoever will be a homo feud over the land into a kunu because a military one kuna be on so babikunu. Naturally, or no military net you crown. I don't think they need to be a crown. But see how miserably Oko meeting on timely dead. You couldn't free. He only knows what he went there for. He only knows. Ebikwana he was not on duty, but he was in a uniform. So if you are not on duty and you are a uniformer, what are you seeking to do? What are you seeking to attract? You are attracting fire on yourself. And that is what you got out of it. It is so sad. It is so painful. Say a young man or one ire or one ba or one mommy or one family at this time no ubiakunu. And Ghana as it is, you and I know say until the next 20, 35 years to come, 40 years, and unresolved mystery of death. As I've told you, nobody. Ghana kills more than any country in West Africa. No country in West Africa kills more than Ghana. No country, I'm talking about Ghanaian killing each other. Either ritual murder, land, days, battery, wife, children. Ghana averagely for the last 15 years, there's no country. Whoever wants to challenge, Minister of Interior can come, police can come, they should bring the data. Even Attorney General, unresolved murder cases, unresolved edaho.
Not even Nigeria.
Not even Nigeria. Nigeria talking about in numerical sense of the population. But average sense. How many times has somebody killed somebody in Togo? A whole year they don't register more than 5.
How were there? Because you are not there.
Papa, and I make sure say
unless maybe wait. Within and you be na
I'm telling you. I am telling you. So take it from me. Ghana kills more than any other country in West Africa. We've been killing ourselves. Check it, Boko. How many armed robbers? Koko Senegal, some robber will be 5 minutes after Senegal, they don't register more. The whole 2 years, they don't register more than 20.
But you always say, Ghana is the most peaceful country.
Peaceful of the nationals, we, the citizens. But I'm talking about killings. It's peaceful. Baby and Tokobi, civil uprising be war. Baby a rebel uprising be war. Baby a hold up of military and police.
Yes,
Obi sofo ose waye no makum obi nurse ni asie no life ya kwacha ke tue nipa no oda ho we akum how many politicians kwa do say na nkofu akum omo journalists do say na akum omo that in Cote d'Ivoire no kra waye war raged. Have you heard it? Ko Gambia ne kokum obi ko Senegal what Guinea Mali won say Mali akum nipa Benin ha what so obi awu. Every blessed day, I'm robber killed this, I'm robber killed that, I'm robber killed that. Put that one aside. Nigeria, I need more time than near 300. Nigeria robbery cost, but I'm talking about look at the vast land and the population of 250 to 350. Now our population just only 28 million or 30 million. every blessed day. We are journalists, Ghana Web and other news platforms. Every blessed day.
I didn't tell you to put stop to this.
How do you put stop? Because one, we have bad judicial system. Two, we have bad information processing system. We gather information, but we process bad information. And the police will take the complaints. You go for the national bottom, you go to police hospital, waiting for whatever. Why many of these murders and the police are saying Yahunipano? Ye the ebachi ni pano suswa onu ankasa na ye admitted no up to now or court trial in the case of Mankesim girl no mkunu no.
Yeah.
Yachi ni pa miyem sampa ye ni kunu. Is it a country that you should waste time and energy to wait for any lawyer to come and sit in such a case?
Bechem guy no chuchu obi ni onu ani nuade she
free of charge. Selan ya dene court for 2, 3, 4, 5 years before they pronounce judgment.
Yeah.
Now yes, say state resources.
Sitting MP.
Yeah, near fat docket say is going to Attorney General Department for advice. How many dockets know Attorney General and who is advising that docket?
And also blame why?
What's that?
Judicial system.
But then your judicial system, Attorney General, can't you dispense of those cases and send it back? Police should go ahead.
And at top radio.
And then about Attorney General team with the Ghana laws and Ghana constitution say case now unresolved murder. I am from Attorney General. What is the police there? Cote d'Ivoire police there do the prosecutions without resort to any Attorney General. That is not the work of Attorney General. That is not the work of Attorney General. Obia Kumobi only police me any year exchange gunshot or 2 police need to okuno in a robbery incident. Ya cheneba na police na ankasa ne docket is what is alleged. And the Nipalu next time, no, I allege you or go to allege. It is alleged. Suspect. Is it not sad? The country has lost, we've lost directions in many things. So some of us will get so overly emotional because you compare the country to other countries. Papa, go to Tanzania, go to a place like Kenya.
And at top radio.
Now go and see how Kenya law works. The police. Now ko jana ni Kenya military police now mo exchange ya chewa ni abetwe ho ni etwe alleged suspect. Now no police ni a wakunu ni yonko police ni no na police ni sa sorry anopa no afa no de no court no akwaji adjournment no de no court to some extent a murderer police ni de ne ka sika onu an pocket money e na kofa no nsawom no de ne trot room handcuff no de ne back de na ko.
Farouk ya na ye shift na yemre ka se ye gina system ne military yemre no.
It's a joking paradise. This is
joking paradise.
This country.
You don't mean it.
Yeah, but it's a peaceful country, but it's a joking paradise. You don't know. Nenye joking paradise Kwame Nkrumah Avenue up to downtown Accra. In front of the faces in the eyes of the Ghana police. She baby a market woman at the market na bedu. Etimi G road. Market women G road. Now move to a chamber port, no move P. No move Shegu road, there's no police in Nijina Hall. You cannot arrest her. Yes, I want trouble. Is it a joking paradise? It's not a joking paradise. Look at the traffic. Now the exit roads in the neighborhood. Obi mechanic a friend fitter. Etimiji one full street. No, yeah, straight in work. Our road no so. Aji road, not neighborhood. People in the neighborhood can't even park their cars. Na me metia roadworthy.
Sorry.
Metia roadworthy. Na mechanic in my area, in your area, in her area, or no aji road. Enya ho no da. Or the boys aye fi. No aje waje ni some paperwork ye ni bibia ho. Spray car je fingu ho. Mechanic aje cars e dey see road so for 25 years. Yawo AMA.
Live on top 103.